Welcome to this quick getting started guide with Surreal Cloud, where we'll show you how you can sign in, run queries, manage your instance, and much more. Now, here we are in the Surrealist interface. You can get here by coming to app.surrealdb.com or downloading the Surrealist application. We're here in the overview page where you'll land after you open it, and we'll have the option to be in a sandbox if you just want to play around, but you also have the option to sign in to Surreal Cloud. So we'll sign in, and we're taken to this option where we can sign in with a passkey, with Google authentication, GitHub authentication, or username and password. I'm going to sign in with GitHub. Now that we've signed in, we also have the option to be in a sandbox, since Surrealist is an integrated interface both for cloud and all your other type of instances. But we'll click the button to deploy a Surreal Cloud instance. And the first thing we need to do is select a plan. You can select a free plan or a paid plan. Now, the quickest way to get started is for us to just select a free plan, and then we're taken to configure our instance. Since we are on the free plan, we don't actually have to configure anything aside from some instance details. Now, by default, as I'm in Europe, we get AWS Europe, but you can also be in AWS in US East. And you can see that we have a tick box here that says initialize with a sample data set. Now, this helps you kind of get started with Surreal Cloud, as it will load a sample data set you can play around with. By default, it will be checked, but you can uncheck it if you don't want to load the data set. But I'll leave it checked for now. The SurrealDB version will be the latest version, and then we can have a name. By default, it kind of creates a random name, but we can also pick something more meaningful. So here, we're going to pick a name called René Magritte. And fun fact, René Magritte is a Surrealist artist that is actually the inspiration for the Surrealist bowler hat. You can check out his paintings if you're interested. Now we click on Checkout. And in the checkout, since it's a free instance, you're not being paid for anything. So we can just deploy the instance right away. And now that we're deploying the instance, we can check out the cloud documentation, you can join our Discord community, or you can watch some other getting started tutorials either for SurrealDB or for the cloud. Now that we've created our instance, we have several options. We can run, we can explore, manage access, or define our schema. And you'll notice here in the top that our namespace is demo and our database is Surreal Deal Store. Now, let's first go and explore the data. And here we can see the different tables that we have and the records within those tables. And let's go back to our dashboard and click Design. Here we can see a visual representation of the schema, where we can zoom in and see the relationships and how they all connect together. And we can also click here and kind of interact with it from the UI, as opposed to with the queries. Now, if we go back to the dashboard, we can also click on Run Queries. With the demo dataset, you will have a series of queries that are preloaded, and they explain some core parts of the SurrealQL query language. So we have record links and graph relations that explain how relationships work. We have how you could filter or filter with relationships. We have queries that do simple counts, do select distinct, aggregations, and functions. And we also have a way to use functions with filtering and much more. So you can run those queries, and all of those queries are based on a demo data set, so you can change them and see how they work and try many different things. So next, what we're going to do is we're going to see how we can configure Surreal Cloud. So we go back to the dashboard, and we can see the details here about our instance. And we can see the Configure Instance button. In the Configure Instance buttons, we have both capabilities and versions. In the capabilities, there are many things you can enable and disable, where most of the things are disabled by default, such as network access. Network access is a fascinating thing, and we have a specific video about that, which I recommend you watch as well. But if we go out of the instances, we can see that we also have metrics. Now, metrics will allow you to track the usage of your cloud. And if you want to look at that in more detail, we also have this monitoring tab that will show you the metrics in a lot more detail, as well as some logs. And last thing we want to show you is that we have a AI chatbot to help you out called Sidekick. And you can ask any questions you want about SurrealDB or the SurrealQL query language. But if AI chatbots or something is not what you want, we also have support. So we have Discord, GitHub, we have YouTube's issues, bugs, all that. But we have cloud-specific things. So for example, if your question is about your billing, you can reach out to us at support@surrealdb.com. I hope you've enjoyed this quick introduction to Surreal Cloud. Feel free to check out our other videos that explain different features, and I'll see you in the next one.